Hello, today we are on our last lesson of this packet. We're doing lesson number 38, where we're working with rational equations. So remember, a rational number is a fraction. So we have fractions and equations, and as luck would have it today, we have a whole bunch of letters other than X. But that's okay, guys. We're going to plug through this and just trust yourself, and we'll go problem by problem. At least until I tell you to go off on your own and do this. Okay. So number 1 says, consider the rational equation 1 over r equals 1 over x plus 1 over y. We're going to use this same equation for parts A and B. Now, the thing to think about before we all lose our minds, the denominators have to match no matter what we do. So before we even see what we have to solve for, let's just get a common denominator. We have r, x, and y. So our LCD is going to be r times x times y. So I'm going to take this first fraction, 1 over r. The r is already here, so I have to multiply the bottom by xy and the top by xy. For the second fraction, 1 over x, the x is there, so I have to multiply that by ry. Bottom, whatever you do on the bottom, you got to do on the top. And then the last one, I'm going to multiply this fraction by rx. Again, whatever you do on the bottom, you have to do on the top. So now I'm going to rewrite this over here. xy over rxy. Remember, you can write the letters in any order. Multiplication is commutative. ry over rxy plus rx over rxy. Okay, just like we did before with the equations, our denominators cancel each other out. So our equation that we're going to work with is xy equals ry. It's still a pretty difficult equation to work with, but at least we've gotten rid of the denominators. So now let's see. I have to switch back to my mouse so I can zoom out a little bit. Maybe. Oh, sad. Okay, the whole thing went away. I'm just going to rewrite the equation. If you need to look at that again, rewind the video. That's the equation we're going to use. All right. So I guess I can't zoom in and out on this one. Whatever program you use, good grief, it can be very picky. So we have xy equals ry. If you want, you can go ahead and write this on A and B because we're going to use the same equation. I would move down and do it, but it'll probably delete it. So this problem now, solve for r. In terms of x and y, that means you're going to get on the other side. So we have to have our r's on the same side. And in this case, luckily enough, they're already there. So what I'm going to do, we have to isolate the r. I'm going to take that out as kind of a GCF, r, and then y plus x is in parentheses. Now to get r by itself, you divide by y plus x. Whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other side of the equal sign. And you're left with r equals xy all over x plus y. And that's your answer. Now we're going to take the same starting equation, but we're going to solve for a different letter. So scroll on down. Now that one didn't delete. So x, y. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit more involved. This one says solve for y. We have a y on the left side of the equation and a y on the right side of the equation. We have to get them on the same side. So I'm going to start this by subtracting this y term over here. So now we have xy minus ry equals rx. Remember, we want y by itself. So just like we did up above, I'm going to take out a GCF, name x minus r equals rx. Divide both sides by x minus r. Divide this side by x minus r. And what you have left, y equals rx over x minus r. Not easy, but that's okay. We're not going to quit. We're going to keep trying. I'm going to clear my screen and get ready for number 2. So here we have the equation V equals m times the quantity 1 over b minus 5 times AR over m. And we're solving this for r. Of course we are. It's stuck in the middle of a parentheses. Just like any other equation, I got to get rid of the parentheses before I can do anything. So I'm going to distribute V equals m over b. M times this is 5 ARM, 5 arm, over M. Did I do that? Oh, and you know what? These can cancel. Do I want to do that? Sure. Doesn't really matter, but so I just canceled those out because I have M's on the top and the bottom. So I can get rid of that. I could have rewritten it, but you know how I write. So now we want to solve for R. I think I made this harder than it had to be. Well, you know what? Let's just make our denominators the same. I'm going to do least common denominator is B because the other ones are just a 1. So I'll put a B here. Whatever you do on the bottom, got to do on the top. This one already has a B, and a B. So now it's not arm, it's arb. So I have these cancel out. So I have BV equals M minus 5AR. Whoops. So we want to get R by itself. I'm going to subtract this M term. So BV minus M equals negative 5ARB. So this is negative 5 times A times R times B. So to get R by itself, divide by everything except the 5, or except the R. So I end up with, this stuff's enough to give you a headache. R equals BV minus M over negative 5AB. So for number 3, we're going to start together and find our common denominator. And then I'd like you to pause it, try a problem, or try a step, check it, pause it, like try to do a little bit more of this on your own. So we're solving for A, and we have an A, a B plus 5, and a C as our denominators. So our least common denominator is A, just put them all together, times B plus 5 times C. So to save some space, or try to spread this out, I'm just going to write on the top what I'm going to multiply by, C times B plus 5. I don't know how much that's going to save. So we end up with C times B plus 5 over A, B plus 5, C plus AC over A equals 3A, B plus 5, all over our least common denominator, A, B plus 5 times C. Now we can cross off those denominators. And when I rewrite this, I'm going to simplify at the same time. So I'm going to distribute here. Oops, I forgot the 2. I should write up these problems. So I have 2CB plus 10 plus 1AC equals, and I'm going to distribute here, 3AB plus 15A. Oh my goodness. So now they want us to solve for A. Here's an A term. Here's an A term. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my A terms to the right side of the equation. And I have to, oh wait, shoot. I got another one here. Okay. So I'm just going to move this guy over. Really easy to miss something, huh? So now on the left side, I have 2CB plus 10 equals 3AB plus 15A minus 1AC. To isolate the A, I'm going to take a GCF out of here. First, I'm just going to rewrite what I have on the left side. So I'm going to pull out my A, and I have 3B plus 15 minus 1C. And I'm going to divide by that factor, 3B plus 15 minus 1C, on both sides of my equal sign. 3B plus 15. Those cancel out. So you're left with A equals 2CB plus 10 all over 3B plus 15 minus 1C. So now I'm going to pause this, try page 33, and then I'll put the answers up to page 33.